Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we are going to be reacting to a very controversial topic, ranking the best all-time starting fives from every NBA team. Video by Austin Sweat. The link to his channel description below. Now, before we get going, guys, I do want to say one second, man. Thank you guys all so much, man. We're literally like 100 subscribers away from 60K. Channel has been growing like crazy. Thank you guys so much for the support on this channel over the past few months. And here we go. Let me know in the comment section below who's the best all-time starting five. I would probably say the Lakers. If you are including Anthony Davis, man, it's the Lakers. And LeBron, I guess. Well, no, LeBron's already been there for a season, so yeah. That's my prediction, but we'll see.
Ranking the best all-time starting fives. I don't do all-time videos very often, and the last time I made this video,
I love me a good all-time video.
Copyright. But I wanted to remake it, so we're doing it again.
Bro, I'm not about to get copyrighted?
Too many more all-time videos after this, but I may still do a couple of all-time rankings, depending on how well this one goes over.
Okay.
As for the actual ranking, though, a few things need to be said here, and we've got 3 rules.
Stipulations.
The first is that each team must have one player from every position.
Okay.
It must be a player's natural position. Number 2 is that players can be used more than once for more than one.
Well, yeah, LeBron been a GOAT no matter what he went to, right?
That these players be ranked on or off of teams based on how good they were for that team. And for a couple of special situations, for players who haven't played for that team yet, like Anthony Davis on the Lakers as of the making of this video, we're just gonna base things off of how well he's expected to play. But enough with the rules.
Let's get to it.
Number 30, with the Charlotte Hornets, who have Kemba Walker.
Well, it's not Terry Rozier. It's not Terry Rozier. Number 30 though?
Eddie Jones, Glenn Rice, Larry Johnson, and Alonzo.
Where's Gerald Wallace at?
The Hornets might be in this last spot, but they still have a solid all-around team, with every one of these guys having been all-stars in their time in Charlotte.
They beat 7th place in the Eastern Conference this season with that team.
Gilbert Arenas, Bradley Beal, Caron Butler, Elvin Hayes, and Wes Unseld.
It's a good team.
This is another team that's solid. The backcourt's extremely strong, with Gilbert having averaged almost 30 a game in his best season, and Beal with 25 a game. Then even though
where's Antoine Jameson though?
Better, it's still not too bad. And before we get any
okay, we got a little raid action here, man. Brought to you by Raid. Looks like an okay game. Like I said, I'm gonna stick with my old school RuneScape. All right.
For 28, which goes to the Grizzlies. For Mike Conley, Mike Miller, Rudy Gay, Pau Gasol,
OJ Mayo over Mike Miller.
I mean, nothing too exciting here. We've already seen Conley, Gay, and Mark play together, and they were a solid.
No, Tony Allen,
team, but didn't end up accomplishing anything.
Best defensive guard of all time.
Both Gasol brothers on the same team, who were both all-stars. Who knows? The number 27 spot goes to the Pacers, who have Malcolm Brogdon, Victor Oladipo, Paul George, David West, and Jermaine O'Neal.
Do I need to point it out, or do you guys? Where's Reggie Miller at? Where the hell is Reggie Miller at? Was Reggie Miller a 6-man? No, it was a shooting guard, or even a. Bro, I'm taking. That ain't my video, man.
Mark Jackson is the one who usually takes the spot as the Pacers' all-time point guard, but I think after this season, Brogdon can come out as the better player. Then I have Oladipo over Reggie Miller.
Wow,
man.
Man.
He brings on offense and defense. And with the rest of them and Jermaine down
Reggie
low,
Miller's the best Pacer of all time.
Be a real problem. At 26, the Knicks have Walt Frazier, John Starks, Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire, and Patrick Ewing. Some people might have expected the Knicks to be ranked higher, but
I'll take Linsanity.
Starks isn't too great, and the rest of these guys all may have been considered stars, but they were never even the best at their position.
Because we're considering like the best they've ever played before. That 2 weeks when Linsanity was like, playing off the charts, man, he was like the best player in NBA history.
Even when they were active players. In the number 25 spot, the Pelicans have Chris Paul, Drew Holiday, Tyreek Evans, Anthony Davis, and DeMarcus Cousins.
Boogie, really?
Pelicans ranked higher than a lot.
I'll take that Tyson Chandler over a Boogie.
How good CP3 was in his run there, the fact that Drew averages 20 a game while being a top-tier defender, Tyreek was solid. 80.
Wait, Tyreek has small forward? Didn't like Jamal Mashburn, he was a small forward. I could be wrong about that. Maybe he'd even play for the Hornets. The New Orleans Hornets, that is. Jamal Mashburn, that.
Was as good as he has been, and DeMarcus Cousins still put up 25
Unless he was
and 11
a 2
there before getting injured, which made this an easy choice because it all means
Damn, I'll take James
combination
Posey
of offense, defense, and 3-point scoring. The 24th spot goes to the Wolves with Sam Cassell, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Garnett, and Karl Anthony.
Imagine Wiggins being your best small forward of all time.
And Kevin Garnett's at power forward. It meant that we couldn't include Kevin Love, which is unfortunate.
I'll take Latrell Sprewell's choking ass over Wiggins, man.
Jimmy Wiggins Wiggins and Towns played together.
Legit joke, like he actually chokes
and
people.
And they were a playoff team, assuming they could all coexist. Adding in an all-star in Cassell and an MVP-level Kevin Garnett, and the Wolves are set. Number 23 goes to the Mavs for Steve Nash, Jason Terry, Michael Finley, Dirk Nowitzki, and Tyson.
Michael Finley over Luka? Bro, please believe, man, anything that Mike Finley's ever done in his entire NBA career, Luka's did it better in his rookie season. For real, he did better in his rookie season.
I really wanted to put Luka Doncic over.
Well,
Michael
you
Finley,
should have.
I just couldn't yet.
Why?
Finley was a 2-time All-Star, and Luka's only played 1 season. As for the rest of the 5, though, Dirk won a championship with 2 of these guys, and the other 2 are arguably improvements.
Steve Nash should have
Who he
stayed
had on his team when he won that championship. And we're not talking about regular old Dirk. We're talking about a former MVP, which is great, but aside from Tyson, I do think these guys would be lacking on defense. 22 is the Brooklyn Nets, who have Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, yep, Dr. J, Buck Williams, and Brooke Lopez. Almost all of these guys really had their best years on the Nets, and as a team, they're...
Was Vince Carter? I thought his best was on Toronto. I don't know, was it Toronto?
Definitely solid. You got 3 top-tier star players on the perimeter,
yep,
and even though the front court isn't as good, they can both still hold their own. 21.
Brooke Lopez, all-time leading scorer on the Nets.
For Allen Iverson,
I'll take him. I'll take Chauncey over Iverson.
Alex English, Dan Issel, and Nikola Jokic. And this is a weird one. You
Dan Issel get like elbowed in the mouth.
Forward,
did you guys see that?
Great in Denver. I mean, he had 5 seasons averaging over 25 a game for them. But you gotta remember, Alex English is one of the league's most underrated scorers, and he had 8 seasons averaging over 25 a game.
Yeah, he was a midi boy though.
Tough at center, but I do think Jokic deserves.
He was like an unathletic DeMar DeRozan. Like, mid-range was his thing.
Be in this 5 over Dikembe because of his all-around game. Plus, the scoring ability of all of them, combined with David Thompson and Allen Iverson's, play a big part in what ranked them this high. Number 20 belongs to the Atlanta Hawks, who have Pistol Pete, Joe Johnson, Dominique Wilkins, Bob Pettit, and Dikembe Mutombo.
I thought Pettit was a center, man.
We ended up by including him here.
Didn't Bob Pettit play center?
Combine his defense with the scoring of all these other guys, you got an elite team.
And somewhere you got Flight saying, "Where's Josh Smith?" Like, legit, where's Josh Smith?
Mutombo was averaging a steady 3 blocks and 11 rebounds a game, while the rest of these guys averaged over 25 points a game at one point.
I could have swore Pettit was a center.
19 goes to the Blazers, with Damian Lillard, Clyde Drexler, Scottie Pippen, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Bill.
Man, imagine having LaMarcus Aldridge over Rasheed Wallace. Imagine having LaMarcus Aldridge, bro. Softy Aldi, man, as I like to call him. I don't call him. That's the first time I ever said that. It rhymed in my head, man. Like orange and Dorange, man. Dorange. I don't know. Just imagine, though. Man, Rasheed Wallace would chew you up and spit your bitch ass out, LaMarcus.
Walton. The only real weak point of this team is Scottie Pippen, because he was in the later years of his career. But even then, he was still a great defender.
Yeah, I'll take Travis Outlaw over an old ass Scottie.
Everything. Damon Drexler on offense, Aldridge and Walton as a dominant
Where's Brandon Roy?
And Pippen's still able to do the dirty work. 18, the Toronto Raptors with Kyle Lowry, Vince Carter, Kawhi Leonard, Chris Bosh.
No Jose Calderon?
See, this one hurts because we had to leave off both Tracy McGrady and DeMar DeRozan, but it had to be done.
Wait, Serge Ibaka over Jonas Valanciunas and Andrea Bargnani? Like, I'm sorry, Serge Ibaka washed up on Toronto. Like, Bargnani, I know he was the first pick overall, and it made him kind of like the stigmas of a bust. Not really, though. He was still a 20-point per game scorer. And Jonas was solid.
That, though, this team would give people some real trouble. Both Bosh and Ibaka can protect the paint and shoot from the outside. Kawhi
can protect shit
on anyone, and Lowry and Carter can drive to the basket, as well as them always having a good all-around game, which means this is a complete lineup. Then at number 17, the Pistons have Isaiah.
Top 5 point guard all time right there. Okay.
Isaiah Thomas. Top
5 shooting guard all time right there. Grant Hill was literally deemed, when he was playing Detroit before he had injuries, literally deemed better than Michael Jordan. That's not me saying that, man. That's not me saying that.
Joe Dumars, Grant Hill, Blake
Griffin. Okay. We got Blake Griffin at the 4. I'm good at that now. Like, I love Rasheed Wallace, but the way Blake Griffin played last season was better than Rasheed Wallace in any like season Rasheed Wallace played. Blake Griffin was that good.
Griffin and Bob Lanyon.
And you don't got Ben Wallace. You don't got 4-time Defensive Player of the Year Ben Wallace. If Ben Wallace was at Bob Lanyon has no disrespect, but Big Ben Wallace needed to be at center. in that team, nobody is beating that team because you're scoring 27 points.
At center, I was originally deciding between Andre Drummond or Bill Laimbeer, but I forgot.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Ben
He
Wallace.
definitely deserves it more. I mean, he averaged at least.
Bro, say Drummond over Ben Wallace one more time. God damn it, man.
20 and 10 in nearly all of his 9 seasons in Detroit, something Drummond and Bill have still never done. And with taking him, the Bad Boys Pistons backcourt, to go with 2 great scorers and all-around players in Hill and Griffin, this is another team with a perfect blend of everything, from offense and defense to aggression and skill. 16.
I'm gonna hide the Pistons logo because nobody respects it anyway, man. Nobody
James,
respects it
Kevin
anyway.
Love, and Brad Daugherty. It's basically the 2016
God
Cavs,
damn, man.
with an okay player in Carr and Daugherty, who was a 20 and 10 guy in his best years. With LeBron, this team already beat the Warriors.
Yo, put Big Z at center though, right?
Center only helps their case as an all-time team. Now I gotta say that it's already been tricky on who to rank where, but it's around this point where things get really tough. So all these
Man, you didn't mention Ben
be
Wallace.
exact, but teams will be in a general area of where they should end up. And that leads us to number 15 in the OKC Thunder.
All right.
And Russell Westbrook, Ray Allen, Kevin Durant, Sean Kemp, and Jack Sickles.
Where Rashard Lewis?
Originally, I had James Harden as their starting shooting guard, but then I remembered Ray Allen on the Sonics.
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm not
Ray
putting
Allen better
OKC
than James Harden.
Anywhere near Sonics.
I'm the Thunder.
But we have
Thunder.
him, 2 MVPs, and a solid front court, which is what landed OKC in the top 15. The Utah Jazz are number 14 because they have John Stockton, Pete Maravich, Andre Kirilenko, Karl Malone, and Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, and how many rings? Like, I don't see a ring. Clean my bitch ass glasses off. Nope, don't see one. Way too damn high. Way too damn high.
And here we have one of the best duos in NBA history to go along with one of the best scorers in NBA history. A solid player and the 2-time defensive
I do like
player of the
AK-47.
year, Rudy Gobert. Mark Eden almost took the spot for center because he averaged over 5 blocks a game one year, but Gobert's a much better offensive player and is nearly just as good on defense.
He's better defensively.
Plus himself and Maravich are
more
good
than just
complements to play off of
shot
Stockton
blocks.
and Malone's pick and roll game. 13, the Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash, Devin Booker, Sean Marion, Charles Barkley, and Amari Stoudemire.
It's not bad. I could have swore Amari played power forward on the Suns. I could be wrong about that, but I could have swore he was a power forward. Maybe not, though.
Just alone, Nash and Amari themselves were one of the greatest guard and big man duos ever. And Nash was a 2-time MVP, Sean Marion was a lockdown defender, Devin
I love the
becoming
Matrix.
an elite scorer, and Charles Barkley was an MVP while on the Suns, while he never played with any other stars. So we can only imagine just how good all these guys would be together. Number 12, the Sacramento Kings with Oscar Robertson, Mitch Richmond, Peja Stojakovic, Chris Webber, and DeMarcus Cousins. And keep in mind that it was on the Kings where Oscar Robertson was averaging triple-doubles.
That's true.
Then Richmond and Stojakovic both had seasons where they averaged over 24 points a game on over 42% from 3, which was great for their era. And Webber and Cousins also both had seasons where they averaged at least 25 and 12. I don't see any weaknesses on this roster.
Yeah, 50 boxes
and
of
that's why they
tissues
made it
used.
just outside of the top 10. Number 9 goes to the Heat for Tim Hardaway, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Alonzo Mourning.
Alonzo over Shaq? Like, I get like Alonzo was good on the Heat. Well, I guess, because I could have swore Alonzo was like wasn't he the backup center to Shaquille O'Neal? I could be wrong about that, but I thought, what's his best years on? I don't know. I just think what Shaq did in his limited time in Miami, and winning a championship with D-Wade kind of outweighs what Alonzo did, as a backup to that team.
And we had to give Mourning the slight edge over Shaq on this one. And we've already
Why's
seen
that?
LeBron, Wade, and Bosh play together.
I need
but if we're assuming that the
context.
best 2005 and 6 version of Wade is in the starting 5, they'd only be that much better. Plus, when they did all play together, their point guard was Mario Chalmers, and their center was Chris Anderson.
Mario Chalmers is
Replaced
not
both
bad.
of them with 2 all-time greats, and they easily deserve to be ranked this high. Number 11 belongs to the Clippers for Chris Paul, Paul George.
Oh, yeah,
Kawhi
okay.
Leonard,
Yeah, those
Blake
two
Griffin,
guys.
and Bob
Okay,
McAdoo.
yep.
Alright, this is where teams really start getting taken to an elite level.
That's true.
We have part of the Lob City Clippers combined with the present day Clippers and Bob McAdoo, who averaged 34 and 14 in his best season. And they're great because there's no weaknesses here. The Lob City Clippers never won a championship or even made it to the finals, but combine them with a better big man in PG and Kawhi, who instantly made the Clippers championship
Yeah, that's a
favorites this
GG, man.
year, and that easily makes them one of the top all-time teams. Plus, they're another team with a perfect blend of offense and defense. Number 10, the Orlando Magic with Penny Hardaway, Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, Rashard Lewis, and Shaq.
Injured ass Grant Hill? Like, I'm probably taking Hito Turkoglu.
Grant Hill was good, but never himself in Orlando because of the injury.
Bro, Hito Turkoglu, man.
Rashard Lewis had some of his best seasons there, but it gets better. I mean, Shaq was averaging 29, 13, and 3 on the Magic. McGrady had a season where he put up 32, 6, and 5. And Penny was a 6'7" point guard, putting up 21 a game. There's real threats in the backcourt and frontcourt, and the only thing
athleticism off the charts
is that they would be unstoppable. Number 8, the Bucks with Oscar Robertson, Ray Allen, Bob Dandridge, Giannis, and Kareem. This Bucks
not bad. It's actually fantastic. It's not a lie.
As he was on
it's
the
not a lie.
Because in Milwaukee he was averaging about 17 and 7, which still isn't bad. But the Bucks version of Kareem was the best version of himself as a player, with him averaging 34 and 6.
I don't know much about Dandridge. Him over Middleton.
Then when blocks started getting recorded, he averaged 3.5 a game. And combining both of them with Giannis gives them 3 superstars. They would lack in 3-point shooting though, because Ray's the only one on the team that can shoot.
Yeah, get Middleton on that team.
To the 76ers in Ben Simmons, Allen Iverson, Dr. J, Charles Barkley, and Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, out of all
that
of
spacing
guys,
about to be
Dr. J
atrocious.
was the only one who was able to win Philly a championship. But that was with all of them alone. Together, this is as complete of a team as
is that Glenn Davis?
Besides Ben
is that Glenn Big Baby Davis wearing a Michael Jordan jersey?
Simmons jump shot.
That is, I think it is, man.
Dude. And Barkley's weight, but you get the point. Number 6, the Rockets with Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Tracy McGrady, Moses Malone, and Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
It was hard
yeah,
to
definitely
rank the
Hakeem over
all-time
Yao.
Rockets
I love
ahead of
Yao
Philly
Ming, but let's respect
really
him now.
Gone either way. But Westbrook and Harden are going to be serious contenders this year. But if instead of them having role players, you added on another all-time scoring threat in McGrady, a 3-time MVP for Houston and Moses Malone.
Yeah, those guys are going to
one
get
of the
2 shots
greatest
combined
centers
with
ever,
Harden and
that's why
Westbrook
they end
out
up
there.
just outside of the top 5. Then in the top 5 is number 5, which goes to the Spurs for Tony Parker, George Gervin, Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, and David Robinson.
That is a nice team. Yeah, because Kawhi was still playing out of his mind at that point. I feel like maybe you can make a case that Tony Parker, like when he was playing great ball, man, was one of the best point guards, but still. But you got the greatness of Tim Duncan. Okay, I'll allow it.
Individually, all these guys might not be as
I'll
good
allow
or
it.
as flashy as some of the others we've mentioned, but as you know, the Spurs have a winning mentality. They're winners. Under Popovich, all of these guys except Gervin won rings, with Kawhi winning 1, Robinson winning 2, and Duncan and Parker winning 5.
That's crazy.
And having them all together makes me believe they would still be able to beat a lot of the teams that have more skill than them. Number 4, the Celtics with Kyrie Irving, John Havlicek, Larry Bird.
I'm going to take Isaiah Thomas, his one season dropping 30 over what the hell, whatever that was Kyrie was doing on that team. I'm taking Isaiah, bro.
And Bill Russell. Now, Bob Cousy's usually named as the Celtics' all-time point guard.
No, man, it's Isaiah Thomas for one
I'm
season.
Always taking Kyrie over him. Then Havlicek beat out Ray Allen because of his defense. Larry Bird and Kevin McHale are an all-time great duo. And as we know, Bill Russell's just a flat-out winner.
Yep.
The weakest point of the lineup would be Kyrie Irving based on how his time in Boston went. But being around so many other all-time
toss
greats,
Isaiah Thomas
maybe
on there.
Wouldn't be so bad.
17
Number
straight
3,
rings.
The Warriors with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, that's just no
love
fair.
or hate the Warriors, this one can't be argued. 73 and 9
no fair,
with
man.
Steph, Klay, and Draymond, and when KD was added, they were the championship favorites every year. Then if you added Wilt Chamberlain, we may be talking about a team that could go 82-0.
They always win it when I do my league stuff with all-time teams.
Number 2 in the Chicago Bulls for having Derrick Rose, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and Artis Gilmore. They'd have Derrick Rose before
that's
the injuries,
spacing.
the 3 stars of the greatest.
What era are
team
we
of all
playing
time
in?
That went 72-10 and won the championship. To add with a 7'2" Artis Gilmore, who put up 22-13 in his best years with the Bulls, which makes me pretty sure that this team could go 82-0 in a regular season. But then there's number 1, who there's never been any competition for, in the Los Angeles Lakers.
that part was
having
easy.
Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Kareem.
GG,
and I don't
man.
even
Yep.
need to say anything except that I will say I'm putting AD over.
I will say there is an argument for Kareem or Shaq. I do think that argument's definitely there. So.
Pau, because while Pau did win championships, overall in terms of skill as a player, I think AD will come out
Caruso
much
was the
better
sixth
than
man,
Pau
right?
was in LA. And that wraps up the video.
Okay, that is the end, as he just said right there. I will say overall, it was a good list. There was definitely, like anytime anybody tries to put a list like this together, there's going to be things that people disagree with. It's just how it's going to be. One, Ben Wallace not being mentioned. Reggie Miller, I think, is the best Indiana Pacer ever. So, just things like that, guys. Let me know in the comment section below, what did you like about the list? What did you dislike? And, yeah, that's all I got, man. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out.